Hello Beauty News family, welcome back. Thank you so much for the amazing reception on our first video back after 2 years. You guys seem to be here for just about anything. So we're bringing back a good old episode of Beauty News, except a little bit more pared back. I don't think either of us are really interested in talking about every single thing Colourpop releases throughout a year, although we will be talking about Colourpop today. And same for things like Makeup Revolution or Kiko's massive drops that contain like 60 products.
If we could like never talk about those two brands again, like I wouldn't be mad.
I think we would. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And I think like coming back, we're going to talk about the things that interest us either for good or bad reasons. Maybe something is, you know, a really exciting release, or they've got products that are new and interesting, or they've released something that's rubbish.
Yeah. So we're going to make these a bit more chatty. They're not going to be like, we used to put a lot of pressure on ourselves to make sure that they were as current as possible. And to the point where we'd be like editing until like 1 a.m. the night before it'd go up, just to make sure there was an update in there. So it was the most fresh, new release sort of stuff. From what I understand, we put a lot of effort in and people didn't care that much about it being right, like right up to the minute accurate information. So what we're going to do is we're just going to treat these Beauty News sort of monthly recaps as being discussion points. Now we are well aware that we film these probably a week before the end of the month, depending on the month. So there's going to be more to come, and what we'll do is we'll just incorporate that into next month. But if you see anything awesome that you really want us to talk about in these episodes, tag us, do whatever you need to do. We're happy to talk about what you want to talk about as well. And that's what we're going to start with. So I actually put up a little community question this morning about what sort of releases did you want us to talk about, and we'll talk about those first, and then we'll talk about ones that we had listed as being interesting. Obviously, some of the really popular ones that were mentioned we had on our list anyway, but there's a few that I think people brought to our attention that we sort of overlooked, and I think we may as well talk about them because some of them are really interesting for not the best reasons, to be honest.
We're going to start off with Caudalie. This is the new Vinocrush Tinted Cream. So there's 5 shades in the range, and it is an encapsulated pigment product. So if you're not familiar with what these are, it essentially comes out looking like a moisturizer, so a white cream texture, and as you rub it into your skin, it breaks down these tiny little microspheres, and it like the pigment becomes apparent. Now the shade range is pretty, you know, it's not very good. It's 5 shades, but these are typically very sheer products, similar to a tinted sunscreen or like a skin tint type product. They're not meant to offer a lot of coverage. They're just meant to sort of adapt to your skin. But I think what turns me off about these is historically, and I've used a lot of these because I love weird stuff like this, they oxidize and they make you look orange. There is an image showing how it looks on different skin tone depths, and I swear, number one, there is no way that this product was used completely all over the face, because I'm sure that this would oxidize. It has to.
These don't look very nice. I know that these are supposed to be often sheerer products, like tinted moisturizer type products, and they do say that this is half skincare, half makeup. It's got hyaluronic acid and grape water and da. But number 2, that looks cakey.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what's going on, but I do agree with Hayley. Like, I find that there's something about this type of formula that I don't know if it's the pigments they used or whatever it happens to be, but they inevitably end up looking orange, even if you have the lightest shade possible. I would hope that from a brand like this, that it would be more refined and nicer. But look, I'm just going to say, our friend Simon, who loves Caudalie and loves skincare and loves tinted balms, he's probably going to try this and he'll tell me.
He will definitely try it.
It's not out yet. It's coming soon. But yeah, I think this is quite on trend with the sort of tinted, sort of glowy, skincare infused makeup that we're seeing a lot, but I don't think that this is going to take off. And I'm just having a look at one of the images of it showing that it comes out like a cream color and then it turns into a pigment. The shade number 3, it just looks like bad fake tan. It
does. It looks orange.
Yeah, it does. But the next thing that people were wanting to talk about, which I thought was interesting, and this is, Hayley and I were talking before, both these releases from Pat McGrath sort of went in one ear and out the other for us because we don't really like Pat McGrath. I like them as
not the person, just the brand.
Yeah, makeup artist, great. I think customer service, great. Sales, often great. But full price, the products I don't personally think are worth it. And I've tried multiple products from them. One, like, what are people seeing that I'm not seeing? And I decluttered them because I don't like them. So they recently released a Valentine's Day collection. So this collection is called Heart's Desire, and there's an eyeshadow quad, a highlighter, and 2 lipsticks that have like a sort of filigree sort of design on the bullet. So it looks cool because it's, looks fancy. Now, this comes in various packs because Pat McGrath always does the multiple pack thing. But what is annoying people about this collection, firstly, it gives the impression, especially the sneak peeks, that it's going to have like red and blue, which I probably don't want that, but some people wanted it because they were quite disappointed that there wasn't a blue in the palette. But what disappointed people the most was the repeats. So this is a quad. It consists of all repeat eyeshadows, 3 of them from one of the holiday palettes from 2023. We're not talking about 5 years ago. We're talking about few months ago, and then one of them from a palette a couple of years ago. So all shades in here. If you're a big Pat McGrath fan, all shades in here you probably already have. The highlighter, a few people are flagging as also being a re-release. I think the shade is new, but the pan design is from a Bridgerton collection. So it looks very same. And I didn't even look at the lipsticks because she always repeats lipsticks. It doesn't even matter. So this is a big disappointment to a lot of people, but this is on the back of releasing a Lunar New Year quad that was a repackaged quad, completely repackaged quad. So the last 2 collections that are supposed to be like special celebration collections, Pat McGrath has just repeated. And I think, especially looking at the comments on Instagram, it is turning some of her diehard fans into slightly disgruntled fans. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, look, this is not anything new from Pat McGrath though. I haven't even been keeping up with beauty releases over the last 2 years, and even I know that she has had a lot of repeat releases, and it, even coming from somebody who doesn't buy her stuff, it annoys me, especially considering the average price point of Pat McGrath. I just feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to the consumers, right? So the people, the brand loyalists, I feel like it's disrespectful. I am not that person, so I'm not personally offended by it, but I would just not buy from this brand, and that's why. And not saying that I would never buy from the brand, because she does release some things that interest me, but I don't have that burning desire to own everything, because
or anything.
Or anything. You can't, because it's all re-release stuff.
Talking about sort of upsetting the diehard fans, one thing that I don't mind it from an outsider that jumps in occasionally with sales, but one thing I think that's really cheeky, and Pat McGrath is notorious for this, is unless it's a palette that is in like really high demand, because it might be like a Star Wars palette or something, and the property is making people buy it, I find that the sales are like, they're great to jump in on, but they're almost
absolutely.
insulting that like they're selling a palette for like Australian $200, and then you just have to wait 6 months and then you can buy it for like $70 or something. Like, I just feel like if I bought something full price from Pat McGrath, I would be fuming that in a few months' time I could have saved like the equivalent of like my electricity bill for the month kind of thing. Like it's a substantial amount of money, and that's what I find. I find it very hard to want to buy anything new released from Pat McGrath. The last time I bought from Pat McGrath was like discounted lip glosses that were like 11 Australian dollars from like 50.
Yes.
But if you were the person that bought them at $50, you'd be fuming.
Wouldn't you be fuming? The last thing I purchased were her, I think they were Lip Fetish sheer color balms. And again, like I got them, I don't know, 40, 50, maybe even more. Like, it was a really good deal. And I liked them and I was happy to pay that price. And it felt like a good deal for me. But yeah, I don't pay too much attention to Pat McGrath's new releases. Like Kat said earlier, it's in one ear, out the other. Because I know that like their process of releasing and then putting on sale, it exists, it has for years. It doesn't make sense to me to buy a single thing full price when it releases. And another thing that I wanted to mention about the highlighter in the Valentine's Day collection, potentially, and this is something that she does, it will be an existing product that's released before, but they've changed the name of it. So I don't know. I don't really want to go back and like have a look at how many Bridgerton releases did she do? Because I'm sure it wasn't just one.
No. There was a couple, and there was at least 4 highlighters, maybe more. Now, when it comes to this highlighter, I was actually looking up the name of it. Nude Opal, and from what I could see from doing a bit of research, I couldn't find another Nude Opal that's been released, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was renamed. And that's the thing that's really hard. They look so similar. It's a champagne. Whoop-de-doo.
Yes.
Like in the Bridgerton one, there was like a slightly more icy one, a slightly more gold one, a slightly more pink one. It's like, well, I don't know without seeing them in person and swatching them side by side.
You need to see the
is this
swatches,
something? Is this something that's already been released? So yeah, I just feel like she's not very transparent in the releases, and I feel like it's a little bit disrespectful to the diehard fans, which is essentially keeping the brand afloat, because it's not me that's keeping the brand afloat. I can assure you that. Another release that was flagged by the community was the Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is a Lunar New Year highlighter. So it is called the Glow Seeker highlighter in the shade Pearl. Now this was incorrectly listed as pear on Trend Mood. And I'm like, why is this pink highlighter pear? What is this pink pear? But it's not, it's pearl, which makes a lot more sense.
Makes more sense, yeah.
It's like a pearlescent, soft, almost like silvery pink, but it's a bit peachy. Like, it's not cool as in frosty cool. It actually looks really beautiful. It is a cooler tone though.
I think so too, yeah.
Yeah, so this has a nice dragon on it. It's the year of the dragon, early, I think it's the 10th of Feb. Now, someone commented, where is this? They found it on Beauty Bay. It's available in Australia at Adore Beauty. But it's actually not available yet on the Anastasia Beverly Hills websites. So I don't know if it's officially been released. I don't understand. So yeah, it seems like it's just been swept under the rug and people have forgotten about it. Anastasia Beverly Hills definitely hasn't promoted it themselves, but I reckon they just haven't released it yet, which is weird because it's cutting it very fine to actual, like the start of Lunar New Year. So they better release it soon. But you can find it in some places. In Australia, for example, Sephora, Mecca, Adore Beauty. There's an Anastasia Beverly Hills Australia website. The only one of those 4 stockists that have it is Adore Beauty.
Adore Beauty, yeah.
I don't know, but it's beautiful. It is very pretty. I like the
It is very
colour.
pretty. Yeah, I like it as well. I like the print on it. And of course, I love the packaging.
Yeah.
Red packaging, yay.
The biggest release that everyone's been talking about, and this is sort of on the top of my list to talk about as well, is Colourpop and their Twilight collection. Now, this is, look, people love and hate this, and I feel like I'm the same way. I didn't like it enough to get up at 3 a.m. or whatever and try to buy it.
No.
And thank God, because it's sold out really fast. I don't know if they haven't been selling as much lately, so they've just had a really small release. I don't know. Or if the Twilight fans, this is probably more likely, Twilight fans around the world just got on and was buying the heck out of it. Because apparently, like, you would put things in your cart and then go to pay and it was gone. So this collection disappeared from the website so quickly. Now, this collection is, I don't like the makeup, but I like how it fits in with the movie, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's also a movie that doesn't have much makeup in it, besides like pale down faces and bland sort of like expressions and monotoned dialogues. There is not actually much makeup in this, so they've actually taken inspiration more from the look and the color palette of the movie. There is a palette. It contains 15 moody blues, forest greens, and sparkling cool neutrals, and it's inspired by like the forest floor sort of scene. And they do have that image on the inside, so you can really see that it's green, blue, brown, white, essentially, and it totally sums up how the movie looked. If you watch that movie now, it's just like it's got a blue filter over it. It's very odd, but it worked at the time. So yeah, it's not a palette for me, but I get that this is sort of like a collector palette. It's also got a body oil that has shimmer in it, so you can walk out in the sun and look like you're a sparkly.
That product makes sense.
Yeah,
I've tried
so
it and it is so sparkly. I have said before, it makes me look like Edward Cullen, and it's weird. That product fits this collection to a T.
Yeah. Then there's 2 Super Shock shadows, and these are sort of like the white ones that have that iridescent shift. Not my favorite, but each their own. There's also 3 Luxe lip oils. One's a black. These are very sheer, so they look very dark and very moody, but then they just give a very hint, like a very light hint of color on the lips. There's a red one, there's a blue one, and a black one. And then there's liquid eyeliners that are metallic liquid eyeliners, and there's a dark metallic red, which is beautiful, a dark sort of foresty green, and a dark sort of metallic black. So they all fit the theme. It all makes sense. The thing that disappoints me the most about it, and I've said this on my TikTok, I am actually a Twilight fan. I haven't read the books because they're written so badly. I should actually read the books. I should actually read the books. I'm getting back into reading at night, so maybe that's the next thing I'll tackle. But I've read all the other sort of young adult fiction things. I find them very entertaining. But I loved watching the movies. It was one of those things that just, and it's one of those movies that or movie series that I will see on TV, and I'm flicking through the channels and I'm like, all right, I'll just watch this for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I'm up until like midnight and I've watched it all the way through. So it just catches me. There's something about it that just catches me. So this is a collection for me. I'm also obviously a makeup lover, but something that really disappoints me is, besides the palette, nothing gives me Twilight packaging. Give me Twilight images on the packaging. This looks like Colourpop, but instead of white lids, it's got black lids. It is so disappointing in terms of collector item.
Yeah.
And that's what, like, a part of it shits me, but I also feel like they've done it well. I just don't want any of the makeup. I wouldn't use any of the makeup. So that's how I feel about it. But what do you think, Hayley?
So look, I'm not interested in anything from this collection. I feel the same way as Kat does. Like, the palette is so opposite end of what I would wear. Like, I hate blue and green eyeshadow. So like, I'm never gonna love it, but mega Twilight fan. Actually rewatched the whole series literally about 2 months ago because I wanted to. Actually seeked it out and watched it. I do like that they've got a red metallic eyeliner in there, but I hate the applicators. So, I don't want any of this. I knew it would be hugely popular. But going to the how everything sold out like instantly, I was actually on Beauty Reddit, and I saw a post about it, and people were, upset that it had sold out so quickly. And they were talking about how they were already seeing things posted on eBay and other reselling sites for hundreds and hundreds, sometimes like even the whole collection for over $1,000.
Wow.
So resellers had actually got in there to try and take advantage of it as well, which doesn't help the situation. Colourpop have said that they will restock. I believe I saw that somewhere. So, that's always been a problem in the beauty industry with popular releases. People swooping in to
make some money,
resell. Yeah, it's disgusting, but it's just a sad fact.
Another collection that sold out within a couple of hours, and I do not understand this. I don't even want someone to explain this to me because I don't even want to know. But Burts Bees has done a collaboration with, let me get this right, Hidden Valley Ranch. And it's a 4-pack of lip balms, so they're popular lip balms. There is a Hidden Valley Ranch flavour, fresh carrot flavour, a celery flavour, and a buffalo sauce flavour. And this sold out apparently within like a couple of hours or something. Like it's sold out. You cannot pay me. Well, you can pay me to use it, but I would not buy this. The only one I'd have is the crunchy celery.
So I would love to try crunchy celery and fresh carrot. There is curiosity in me that would want to try these.
Would you buy it though? Would you spend your money on it?
No, I would not. I would not buy it. I would try it once and I would then be like, cool, that was a waste of money. And I think that's what a lot of people, if you bought this, I'm coming for you right now. So just hold on to your hats. I saw a lot of discourse. Behind this release. And a lot of people were, like Kat and I, who were like, just why? But I mean, this is a beauty industry, let's face it. These brands, they will do anything to get $1 out of you, and this is it. A lot of the people who were interested in this product were actual content creators, and they were saying, I want this for content, I want this for content. TikTok. Yeah, I want this to, get the bag. I hate it. I just think it's a bit of like a joke kind of product, and it's not like taking the beauty industry seriously. And it wouldn't surprise me if there's like 40-year-old fucking middle-aged straight white men behind this product.
Yeah, look, I think this is a matter of a popular sauce that in Australia we don't get or understand. Like we actually don't have this sauce on our shelves. So the whole ranch dressing thing, I don't understand. So I know that there is a big popular sort of thing about that.
People love ranch in the States.
Yeah, they love it. So
but we don't. I don't even think we have it here at all.
No,
you have to
I don't
buy
think
it
we've
at
got
a specialty
it.
store.
You might be able to get it at like those sort of imported stores where you're spending like 5 times the amount, but it's not a thing here. I actually hope that this is nice. I hope that they're actually found a way to make it nice. Yeah. And I don't mind makeup or beauty products that are a bit like silly, as long as they're functional and it's not like, oh, I bought this and now I'm just going to throw it away. If you can actually use it, and they found a way to make this something that you can put in your handbag and continue to use, like, I don't care if it's
good.
Silly. Go you good thing.
No, and I feel that way as well. I think it's actually very important that brands sort of color outside the lines when it comes to beauty products. But when I think about a buffalo sauce lip balm, I'm thinking, is that going to be like spicy, or is it just meant to be flavored like buffalo sauce? But also, is it going to give you like buffalo sauce and wing breath? Because like these are the things that are going on in my head, like I want it to be nice. I think crunchy celery and fresh carrot could be good though.
I think that could be nice.
Yeah. All right, next up we have a Fenty release. This is a new concealer. So they're saying it's a medium coverage with a natural second skin finish, and it's supposed to visibly improve dark circles, you would hope, because it's a concealer. Plus puffiness instantly and over time, which tells you that it's meant to have like some good skincare benefits to it. It's meant to give you 12 hours of hydration and crease-proof wear. We both picked this as something that we were interested in. I want it because I want to try it. I'm ready for it. I love a good hydrating product. Give it to me. Now, they've shown it in comparison to some other like concealer type products that they have in their range. They've got the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Concealer, which is a medium to full coverage and has a soft matte finish. The Wear Even Hydrating Longwear Concealer, which is this current release, is a medium with a hydrating and natural finish. And then they have the Bright Fix Eye Brightener and Corrector, which has a sheer coverage and is supposed to give a smoothed and blurring effect on the skin. So they're kind of covering all of their bases. I definitely think that it was totally time for them to bring out a hydrating concealer. I think it touches on a different market. There's lots of younger generations who are going to be fine with like the mattifying products. And then you've got pockets of people in there who struggle with dry skin, and you just cannot wear mattifying products because they're frankly uncomfortable, and they don't look good on the skin. And then also you've got like the older generations where we've got the money to spend, like we're all for it, give it to us, but you've got to have the right products for us to be interested in it.
I think this is a smart release simply because I feel like this is where concealers are going in terms of trend. Like it used to be like the big triangle, a really high coverage, heavy sort of concealer. And I'm glad that the days of that are gone because it actually didn't look good.
It does. It looks terrible.
Yeah, so I'm glad that they're sort of updating, and they've always been well known for having a big like base range that's been well received. That's how they launched. That's how they became really popular. I also really like their sort of before and after photos. They've actually taken people with skin issues like acne scarring, rosacea, like stuff like that, and they're showing how it applies. Whereas in contrast, there's been a lot of concealer releases this month actually, and one that sticks out as being not very convincing is like a Guerlain one where it looks like beautiful model before, beautiful model after, and it's like I can't tell what that's going to do for my skin because it doesn't actually cater to my skin issues. Whereas I feel like Fenty is a lot more realistic with how they demonstrate their products, and it shows that it is covering, it does do a good thing, like it does a good job, but it's also not that heavy matte coverage that was popular like 6 years ago. So I think this is well and truly about time, and I think a lot of people are excited.
There is something I want to mention that I think is important. It does come in 50 shades, similar to the foundation range, and the Instant Retouch Concealer also has a 50 shade range. That's a lot for a concealer line. The claim about where it hides dark circles and puffiness, and they've got the model, I do wonder if that's been photoshopped because they very clearly show that like there's a small puffy section like under her eye, and that is like completely flat in the after. And for a concealer to do that, there would have to be some pretty serious like skin tightening ingredients in there. And if that was factual, like if it did contain that, you would see skin tightening all under the eye, and all of those like fine lines.
And that would be a claim as well, which is not. So I do, look, I'm interested. The coverage looks beautiful and it still looks like skin. So, you know, I'm not disputing that. But I wonder about that. Yeah, I agree. All right, Glamlite has sneak peeked an upcoming Betty Boop collection. There's red lips, there's bold cheeks. There's a lot going on. Glamlite has become the new Colourpop in terms of just releasing heaps of collaborations. So I'm going to say I don't really care. But if you wanted to know about it, keep an eye on Glamlite's Instagram account because he'll be dropping probably anytime soon. And then by the time we do another one of these, there'll probably be 2 collections that have launched anyway. So I don't give 2 shits.
That is accurate.
Yeah, if you care, go for it.
Yeah, they have really gone the way of riding on like the nostalgia and the property kind of releases.
They released 4 Halloween sort of horror film themed collections in like October-ish, sort of leading up to October. 4. That's 4 years worth of Halloween collections, but 4 in 1 year. Too much. And they all looked very similar. I'm not interested.
Way too much.
Yeah.
All right, next up, I saw these from Hourglass. These are the Shape and Sculpt lip liners. So they're saying that they're ultra creamy, transfer resistant lip liners that defines shapes and sculpts lips for soft matte color that stays all day. They've got full coverage application, like opacity, which they should. And they contain jojoba oil, which is interesting, $29 each. There's only 7 shades though, and it's a pretty, I don't know, I think it's a really crappy shade range, especially if they're touting it as like full opacity, rich color, very pigment. You kind of need them to match the actual color you're using. Otherwise, you have to do a lot of blending to make them look right.
I love Hourglass lip products, so I can understand whenever they bring out a lip product, I'm like, ooh. But I haven't used, I think I've used a lip liner once in like the past 6 months. Like I rarely use lip liner. So this is not something I'm very interested in. But also what annoys me about this is, okay, and we'll see this from Kim Kardashian soon, but if you're going to release like pretty much a very limited range of predominantly nudes, like stick to just nudes. Why have one red, like,
and a berry,
there's
purpley plum shade in there. Yeah, I don't was another thing. I was like, what's the point?
Yeah, either go more or like just stick to like 8 shades of nude and have a decent range of undertones and shades. Also, as a red lip lover, I'm really pissed off whenever brands bring out one generic red shade of lip liner that doesn't actually match the orange tone one that I use, or doesn't actually match the coral tone that I use, or doesn't actually match the raspberry tone that I use. It's always the same generic red, and they're like, this should be flexible to every red lip under the sun, yet here's 5 or 6 or 7 or 8 nudes because we know that there's nuances there. Yeah, there's also nuances in reds, mate. Like, come on.
There's nuances in all of the shades that you like to wear on your lips. And if you're a pink lover, an orange lover, a red lover, a greige lover, a plum lover, you know that. You know that there is nuance and there is a place for all of those shades. It's like a mood ring, but for your lips. And I think it is important to pump out or like plump out that shade range because you, like I said, they're releasing highly pigmented lip liners that are meant to have like a really good long wear. So if you put a lip product over it, the lip product wears off and the lip liner does manage to stay on. You get that stupid ring. Doesn't even match your lipstick in the first place. Like, yeah.
And also, it doesn't even match their other lipstick ranges. And that's the thing. Like, I know that Hourglass are notorious for only releasing things that sell really well. And that's why they get criticised for being very limited with their ranges of things that they sell and, like, face powders and whatnot. And this is probably them looking at what lipstick shades sell the most and only bringing out lip liners for that. But this doesn't even flesh out, like, a lot of shades that they have. Where's their pinks? Where's their, like, they sell pink lipsticks.
Yes,
they sell coral lipsticks. They sell
lipsticks.
Peachy lipsticks. So, like, I don't think this is good enough, personally.
No.
Really quickly, there is a new scent or flavor, whatever, of the Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. Now, you know, these are always exciting to talk about. You buy one, it lasts you a whole year, but somehow you want to buy more because the scents look interesting, especially these swirled ones they do these days. But the newest scent is, what do they call it? Cotton candy. We call it fairy floss, but it is a nice sort of swirl with like blue and pink. It looks very fun. It looks very inviting. I want to stick my finger in it. I know if I bought this, my kids would eat it anyway, but that is something that's coming out if you want it. If you're in the US, I'm very sorry. You're going to be... There's a brand from Australia that is coming your way, and I'm ashamed to say that it is Australian. It is MCo Beauty. Now, MCo Beauty is a brand that creates knockoff products, predominantly Charlotte Tilbury products, some NARS and a few other ones, but they mainly copy Charlotte Tilbury. And not only do they copy the concept of it, so like a liquid highlighter or a liquid blush or whatever it happens to be, they copy the packaging, and it's almost like verging on deceptive, possibly I don't know,
intellectual property,
infringing
violation,
something. It's I don't like it. And also they're not super cheap. They're super cheap when you find them half price or 40% off in the supermarket, which we can because they're stocked everywhere. But I feel like this is a brand that gets a lot of hype online because they pay a lot of marketing to have a lot of hype online, and they pay a lot of influencers to be like, is this just as good as the Charlotte Tilbury one? Oh my God. The answer is no, it never is. But it looks the same, so it makes people think that they have something really bougie. Anyway, it's coming to America. I think it's going to be stocked in, was it Kroger's?
Yes, so it says the full line will be available mid-February online and inside 1,800 plus Kroger stores across the US.
Enjoy.
Okay. Look, I need to add my 2 cents to this. Kat, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't MCo Beauty once Model Co?
Yes.
And they actually did have some okay products. They were stocked in Priceline. They stayed in their lane. They certainly made things that were popular, like highlighters and palettes and lip product, like all of that. But they weren't ripping off other people's ideas. That came later.
I think MCo Beauty actually branched away from Model Co, but yes, it's the same brand, same overall brand. And I think Model Co still exists, but it's not anywhere near as popular. I almost feel like they branched out when they were doing this like counterfeit type product thing, and they almost wanted to separate it from the existing brand, and that's what took off.
Just in case this flops, we've still got Model
just in
Co.
case they get sued. Who knows?
Yeah. So they say that all of their products are $30 and under. I think in a US market,
that's still expensive.
That's expensive. That's really expensive. Like the Extend Lash Growth Serum Mascara for $26. Like it's not actually going to make your lashes grow. Like it's MCo Beauty. I hate to say this to you. Like this is not. No, I don't believe it. The confidence is not there. They've got the Super Glow Bronzing Drops, which are the dupe for the Drunk Elephant Sunshine Drops. So they're $22. I don't know how much the Drunk Elephant, is it the debronzy drops or whatever? I don't know how much they retail for normally, but I would say it's not really that far off $22. Like you may as well buy the real thing. Although if you've got a 10-year-old, don't buy the Drunk Elephant, buy this and get them the fuck out of Sephora. And then they've got the Extend Lash Mascara, which is a dupe for the Kevyn Aucoin, the Volume Mascara. That's $19. That's just a few of the things that they've mentioned. I think this is going to be a very expensive learning curve for them.
Yeah, look, I feel like it's the marketing and it's the viral marketing and that's what keeps this brand afloat. But I think the thing that what it comes down to is yes, they've duped the product in the look of it, in terms of the packaging is the same, the wand of the mascara brush is the same, the color of the like liquid blush shimmery thing from Charlotte Tilbury is pretty much the same, but it's not the same in terms of ingredients and quality. So yes, are you going to get something that sort of gives you that vibe? Is it a mascara going to be a mascara? Yes. But is it going to be the same as like a Kevin Kwan one? No, it's not. But the brush
Probably
might look the
not,
same,
yeah.
and the packaging might look the same, so they say it's a dupe. But it's
Yeah.
the look of it is a dupe. The effect of it I don't find to be a dupe personally. I haven't tried that mascara. I haven't tried either of them, but I have tried some of the MCo Beauty like face products, and I just like, compared to Charlotte Tilbury, I just keep going back to Charlotte Tilbury because I actually think that looks better on the skin. So
Yeah. Like sometimes the formulas from these non-dupe brands are a bit more refined, and they just,
and better ingredients.
They sit better. Yeah, they sit on the skin better. They blend better. They adhere better. Yeah, I think you can dupe a product visually, packaging, color, all that jazz, but often the really important part is actually the formula, because the reason why the original product actually took off was, one, marketing was good, but two, it actually withstood the test of time and people trying it out and saying, yes, it actually is a good product. And, then it gathers its virality, I suppose. But having a dupe product that is more affordable doesn't necessarily mean that it is going to be as good or better.
And it's
if
not.
it's falling flat on the
And it's not even that much cheaper.
Side.
So anyway,
that's
our
right.
rant.
Yeah,
That's our rant.
We have to talk about Natasha Denona. Okay, this is the Berry Pop collection. It officially launched on January 12th, so it is out now, I believe. But
at the Natasha Denona website and in some places, it is coming in store in Australia in March. Right. Online sometime in Feb. So it's one of those things where it rolls out in different countries at different stages. And for a Valentine's Day collection, like, it's a bit late, I think.
March 13th for a Valentine's Day collection. Good job, dickheads.
Yes, that's exactly, that sums it up.
I actually love the look of this palette. I don't care so much about the lipstick and the lip liner. Okay, let's take a look at what's in it first. So there's a lipstick, a lip liner, and a cheek palette, a 3-pan cheek palette, all in beautiful red packaging. The palette has a highlighter, what appears to be, is it a cream blush? I'm pretty sure it's a cream blush.
All right, so inside the palette, there's 3 different formulas. There is a cream matte blush. So this is that cranberry shade. It's supposed to be an ultra smooth, lightweight cream blush formula. Then there's a tinted glow base. Now this almost looks like a cranberry highlighter. They say that it's infused with antioxidant-rich lychee extract and luminous hydrating oils. It's an innovative cream formula that uses textured 3D printing technology for elevated payoff and delivers a natural cranberry red tint to the cheeks with a golden nude glow. That is a lot. There's a lot going on there. And then they've got the Dream Glow highlighter, which is a flattering icy pink champagne shade. It's a gel to powder formula that adds a smooth, ultra high shine radiance to the skin.
I really like the look of the products in here. I'm not going to buy a single thing. For starters, that blush palette, not made for me. That palette, if you've got deeper skin tones and you like it, oof.
Except
I think
for
that
the
will
highlighter.
Look beautiful. Oh yeah, the highlight. Sorry, that is a really good point. The highlighter is White Girl Basic, but the red blush is, I think personally, it's too much for people like me and Kat. It's going to look better on deeper skin tones. Unless you were to use a tiny, tiny bit, then you've got to make sure you blend it perfectly because it's going to look patchy. It looks like it's quite pigmented. I think it's a danger zone product. But in saying that, I like it. I think they should have just leaned heavy into this is a red palette for our deeper skin girls.
Yeah, I totally agree. Look,
Yeah.
I think for me, yes, I think individually these products are very nice. Individually. Together, they make no fucking sense. And that annoys the shit out of me. I find, and I've got photos here of them applying it, the blush by itself, the matte cream, beautiful. Yes, you can, if you want a bold cheek and you've got lighter skin, go for it. If you've got deeper skin, it'll look gorgeous on you. But then when they layer, and they did demonstrate layering all three, then they layer the middle one, which makes it look like textured, like red.
Yeah.
Too much, and then they layer the highlighter over the top. I don't think they go together. I just don't think they do. And I don't like the look that they create. It's like shiny sunburn. One thing I also don't really like about this collection is, okay, they're going for the bold blush, which is really popular at the moment. Cool. But it's almost like, I feel like the bold blush works when it's the bold thing. Not bold blush and then like bold lips. I just feel like if this was even paired with like a sheer berry lip balm or something, it would make more sense. I think I just feel like the overall look is just not something that I aspire to. But the middle shade, that sort of that cranberry highlighter shade, I would use in a big pan as a blush any day of the week. So I feel like these should have been sold individually. Like, buy what you need, but altogether to me they don't make sense. One thing that I haven't looked really far into, but this sort of released only in the past week when we're filming this, is the Nomad Cosmetics New Zealand Stargazing palette. Now, this to me does not scream New Zealand, but it is very stargazing, and apparently people are very excited for it. Their last palette, which was it was like a Wild West sort of haunted one. People were even listing that as like their favorite palette of last year. So apparently they're doing some good stuff. And this one does have some cool sort of holographic shifty shades, which again, the reviews that are coming in, which are early days, people are very excited for it and praising the bejesus out of it. So I just wanted to flag that one as something that people might be interested in. I don't know heaps about it. But yeah, and when I think of New Zealand, I don't think of this colour story whatsoever. But I also don't mind that they're taking interesting sort of perspectives of different places. But yeah, this is not New Zealand for me. But it's cool.
I just really want that snow-covered mountain because she hot here.
Yes.
We have an update from our last video. KK, well, she's not W anymore. Kim Kardashian is back with her brand Skin. And essentially what they're doing, so that she had KKW Beauty, and you know, when Coty purchased a share of the brand, her umbrella company, they shut everything down, ready to like reformulate and re-release, and it's taken quite some time, and they've bought her cosmetics back under her skincare brand, which makes sense. Keep it all in the one place.
And get rid of that W.
Easier. Yes, get rid of the W. Now, this is releasing on January 26th on the website. And the products that we're seeing are, they're very skin-like, I suppose. There's a palette. I hate the palette. It's a 12-pan palette, $50. It's called the Classic Mattes Eyeshadow Palettes with 12 warm and cool nude shadows in silk matte finishes for $50. There's 15 Longwear matte lip pencils for $22 each. And there's 10 full coverage velvety matte lipsticks for $32 each. Everything is nude. It is all skin colored. It does make sense. You know, it goes with her Skims brand. It goes with her skincare line. It does fit with her niche. Like, this is what she does, and that's fine. But I have to say that eyeshadow palette, put it in the bin. I don't care if it's 50 Shades of Nude. That's fine. If you're into it, good. But the packaging and the layer are just,
So
it looks like something from Kmart in the like, I don't know, random home brand makeup, like 12-year-old corner.
yeah,
I can't even get the words.
this cardboard
I'm so
packaging,
offended.
to me, it looks like something you'd get in clothing shops. So, you know, like Country Road in
Sports girl
Australia,
makeup.
Sports Girl. The only way I can see that this being a success is if the quality is top notch. Like,
Bang on. Yeah.
bang on in terms of like, you're a makeup artist and you want this in your kit because it's everything you need for mattes and it is buttery, smooth, beautiful, blendable. Like, if it was the best formula, I can excuse it. What I think is more peculiar, like the lipsticks, okay, there's a nice range of nudes. This gives me major flashbacks to Jaclyn Hill releasing her nude, like moldy sort of metal infused lipsticks. There's a lot of nudes there, but they're very, very nude. Like, if you like peachy nudes, if you like pinky nudes, if you like greyish nudes, if you like sandy nudes, you do not have them. You only have nudes. But the lip liners, when I saw the photo of this, I thought it was, I literally thought it was like, here's one and we're just repeating it as like marketing. But it is 15 shades of lip liners that in the photo looks the same.
It does.
And look,
It
take note,
really does.
Hourglass. If you want to really branch out your nudes, you can do it this way. But if you've got 15 shades of lip liners, okay, yes, she's going for the nude thing. We get it. It's her thing. I don't even think these look very nice. I've seen, like, there was a video of it being applied. I'm like, these lipsticks look dry and, like, cakey. Anyway, and she looks bored as fuck, man. Like, she looks like she's about to fall asleep. Not excited that her brand is relaunching. Oh, no. She looks like, do I have to be here? Oh, my God. I'm so sick of this shit.
I do not understand why they've released 15 shades of the lip liner when so many of them look the same and only 10 shades of the lipstick.
It shows that she values the drawing, like the overlining your lips more than she values the lipstick.
Yeah.
You know, that's not me. I don't get that, but that's obviously her. I would have liked to have seen higher end packaging that you can refill. Like, if she brought this palette out and said, like, this eyeshadow palette is in a really beautiful sort of metal container and you can pop them out and you can buy refills. So this is the one palette you need. And if you use up your cream color, because you use that to set your base or something, you can just buy a new one. I would be totally fine with this, but for $50, cheap flimsy cardboard, I just feel like this doesn't feel good quality. It feels like it's confusing. I don't get it. I don't like it. One thing that I want to mention that's sort of like a comeback as well, Tati posted a video about, what was it called? The Tati List or something?
Yes.
Now, in that video, she essentially is asking people to sign up to a mailing list. And she talks about it in a way that she wants to do things like meetups and dinners and events and blah, blah, blah. But also keep people posted about releases that are coming out. And she very, very, very heavily almost did like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge that Tati Beauty is coming back. Her original palette might be coming back. And it sounds like from the video that the court case that was happening is not only coming to an end, but going to work in their favor. Really, really, really rough background to it. She had a business partner with Halo Beauty, which is the vitamin sort of supplement brand. And
Clark Swanson.
Oh, you're right. There you go. I did not remember that, but there we go.
I think that was his name.
Yeah, so essentially what happened was, in their agreement, apparently Tati was saying that they were going to release makeup under Halo Beauty, and that was going to be part of the brand. And then when she brought out a separate makeup brand and cut him out of that, he was quite upset that he should have been entitled to a portion of the proceeds of the makeup because he was promised that it was going to be released under, like, if any makeup was going to be released, it was going to be released under Halo Beauty. So there's been a court case going on, and that's why she closed down Tati Beauty. That was what it was called, wasn't it? Anyway, it sounds like it's coming back this year, or that's in the works. So if you were interested at all in Tati, which a lot of people aren't anymore, it looks like there's more to come from Tati Beauty. So
yes, she hasn't given up. You can't give up. Let's face it.
You can. Just chill. Just relax. Enjoy your money. She's very rich. Just chill. Play with your crystals and your supplements and you'll be right.
Yeah. She did get really woo there for a while, didn't she?
I think she's still pretty woo, yeah.
She is, yeah. Okay, we have something here from Smashbox. I don't know where I got this from, but I felt like Smashbox wasn't a thing anymore. But it still is. So
it still is, yeah.
It still is. Let's talk about it. It's the Halo Sculpt and Glow Face Palette with vitamin E. It is vitamin infused makeup. So it comes in 4 shades. They're calling it an all-in-one contour blush and highlight palette with 4 cushiony shades to build effortless, natural looking color and dimension. They're $45 US each. Comes in pink saturation, berry saturation, coral saturation, and back to Cali.
Yeah.
I was going to say Carly. It's not Carly, it's Cali.
Yes. So the interesting thing about these is that they each contain a Becca highlighter shade. Each of them.
Oh!
Chocolate Geode, Prosecco Pop, Rose Quartz, and Sea Pop. They are all Becca highlighter names.
Wow.
So they are,
well.
If you're not familiar, years ago when Becca went under, because both brands were owned by Estee Lauder, essentially what they did, they just took a couple of key products from the Becca range and re-released it under Smashbox. But it seems like they're taking either the shades, I'm assuming the formulas, because they talk about these being really buttery and really like creamy highlighters. I think they're just slowly taking Becca products and releasing them in sort of Smashbox ranges, which I'm not mad about. Yeah. What I would have liked to have seen by this, I think the color ranges are quite nice. I love the corally one with the orange and the coral blush.
So do I.
But I would not use Prosecco
like
Pop.
one.
I would want a different highlighter. So I think they should have made these customizable. But I'm happy to see them sneaking in some Becca formulas. And I reckon if they did that more with like the beach tints and the liquid highlighters and a whole bunch of stuff, I reckon it would set like, it would give Smashbox a different dimension that they just have not covered. And they can do it. Yeah. You've got the formulas. Yes. You've got the ability.
Yeah.
But this is like a little sneaky thing. It's interesting.
I quite like them. Like you, I like that sort of corally one. And I didn't clock that they had Becca highlighters in them, but cool, I'm down with that. All right, the last thing that we're going to chat about, it's from Tatcha, and it's for all you skincare junkies out there. Put your hands up for Tatcha, the Matcha Cleanse Daily Clarifying Gel Cleanser. I know Kat loves matcha. I love Tatcha, and this is meant to be good for oily, combo, and normal skin types. Yeah,
I've got the rice wash in my shower, and I love it.
Yes,
so
I love the rice wash as well.
I want it.
I finished one up. I'm not sure if I would pick this. I'm a little bit concerned it might be a little bit too much for me because it is designed more for oily combo skin.
This would be a summer cleanser for me.
Actually, yes. Same for me. So it contains an AHA, glycolic acid. It's fragrance free. Ooh, hang on a minute. Tatcha stuff always has their like Tatcha signature scent.
They've got their blue moisturizer. It's an overnight one, and that doesn't have a scent.
Doesn't have a scent. Stop it.
Yeah.
I don't want it then. And it should smell like matcha. It's meant to be good for pores. It's cruelty free. And yeah, they say it's clean at Sephora, but fuck off. So they use Japanese Kaio matcha. I might be mispronouncing that. It's rich in antioxidants known to calm visible redness. And it also contains a BHA botanical alternative with willow bark and coix seed. There's also Japanese mugwort in there that acts like a ceramide to support the skin barrier, and it's retailing for $40. It does look very nice. I love Tatcha products. So yeah, if you also like skincare, this one is here for you.
Yeah, I feel like this is just filling, again, a gap in their sort of range where they've had
Correct.
this mint coloured packaging. I don't even know what the range is called, but I'll have it on the screen anyway. But
it's the water
yeah,
line.
so it's for oily
Yeah.
skin. It's a lighter sort of formulation. So this is just a cleanser to go with it. I almost feel like that they just wanted to have like the Christmas packs, and they have like the moisturizer, cleanser, and something. And it's like that range was missing that. So they're like, no, we got to make it.
Yes. It was.
Yeah. This is what I feel like if you were a bougie teenager with oily skin. This is what you get into, not drunk elephant. I feel like this would be more gentle on the skin. But anyway, yeah, I think I'm getting a bit old for this. I think this is probably too stripping for me. But I would try it. Maybe.
I would love it. Yeah, I would love to get a mini of
Yeah.
it just to try it out and see what I think. But like Kat said, it is filling a gap. They do have the rice wash, which is designed for drier skin. They also have the Camellia cleansing oil, which you can use to like remove makeup, or oil cleanse if you have super dry skin. And they never had, or currently don't have, a cleanser designed for more oily combination or normal skin. So this would be filling that gap. And it's also got your like anti-aging and anti-breakout properties, along with, you know, skin protectant stuff. So I like it. I probably won't buy it though.
No, I would also try like if I had like a mini pack or something.
If I could get a mini.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But that is it for us. We do hope that you enjoyed the first like beauty news episode back after 2 years. I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
Fun.
And I also,
Yeah.
I loved, well, look, you know, I don't want people to be not informed, but I thought it was interesting that quite a lot of people were saying that they've just not been paying attention to new release stuff since we've been gone. So welcome back.
Yes.
There's new release stuff. Some of it is good, some of it is bad, but
Some of it is bad.
it's fun to talk about.
It is, yes. So feel free to leave your comments down below. I have seen a few people saying that 2 videos a month is not enough. Just give us some time.
It is what it is.
Yeah, we've got lives.
And it's really
We're
hot
busy.
and sweaty, all right?
It's freaking horrid here. We're trying to get back into the swing of things, and we both need to work out new routines around doing this. So, you know, don't get off our backs.
No, majority of people have been absolutely lovely
You
and
have,
wonderful, and
yes,
it's been a breath of fresh air being back, for sure.
Absolutely. Yeah. We really appreciate the absolutely beautiful welcome back that you guys have given us. And I was just joshing about the not enough content. Kind of. All right, guys. So thank you so much for joining us today. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. If you found us and you're not subscribed, do if you want. It's free, and then you can hang out with us every couple of weeks. And leave us a comment. It's good for the algorithm. And YouTube likes that.
That's
so
true.
Let's try and make the platform happy, shall we? We do work here. All right. We will catch you guys in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.